Hey friends, welcome to Smash the Shell. I am Amit Kumar and in this video tutorial we are going to create a responsive modal window using CSS3 and HTML5. We are going to rely on CSS3 to trigger our modal window. We are not going to use JavaScript to trigger our modal window, and we are simply going to use CSS3 target pseudo element selector to reveal our modal window. And you can see that it's really responsive. Let me resize it, and yeah, that is really resizing it according to viewport size, and I can close it, and when I click on this trigger modal, it's gonna reveal from the bottom. And this is a really nice animation effect that we are using, and we have written that animation completely in CSS3 animations. So let's get started. First of all, I'm gonna write the structure for my modal window using HTML. So let's go to the HTML panel here. Let's start creating the structure. First of all, we're gonna create a wrapper for our modal window. So I'm gonna go ahead and create a div element with the class of modal simply, and I wanna hit tab to expand it. If you are using CodePen, you can simply hit tab to expand that shorthand. And now let's go ahead and create another element inside the model. I wanna give it a class of modal __ dialog. Alright, now inside that modal dialog, I wanna create my content for this modal window. So I'm gonna go ahead and give it a section tag and wanna give it a modal __ content class like this. Hit tab to expand. Again, if you are using CodePen, if you are using any other code editor, you can simply install Emmet plugin into your code editor. That's simple as that. Now let's hit tab to expand that. Now inside this modal content, I want to have 3 elements: header, body, and footer. So let's go ahead and create the header using the header tag and give it a class of modal __ header. Again, I want to create another element plus div, a generic tag, and give it a class of modal __ content. Oops, not content, it's body, and footer, and class of modal __ footer. Hit tab to expand it. That's all. Now we have created the basic structure for our modal window. Let's put something into our header. I'm gonna give it a h2 tag, and you can use anything inside, put anything inside this header. I'm gonna use the h2 tag and give it some text with a class of modal __ title, and I wanna write some text inside this h2 tag. So I'm gonna go ahead and write this is simple modal window. Let's say this is our heading. Again, hit tab to expand it, and you're gonna see h2 tag created with some text inside it. Now let's go ahead and create the modal body. For the modal body, I wanna have an image or placeholder image or some random text. Let's create an image tag and give it a class of modal __ image like this. And let's give it a source attribute of https:// like this, and place hold .it / I wanna have image of 200 by 100 pixels. So I would write something like that and hit tab to expand. But before that, let's give it an alt attribute model image and hit tab to expand it. So now we have created the image tag, and you can see a placeholder image here. Now let's go ahead and hit enter and create a simple paragraph. So I'm gonna give it a class of modal __ text. I wanna have some lorem ipsum text, so maybe about 40 words. Hit tab to expand. Now you wanna see some random text generated here. So if you are wondering how all of these shorthands are working, well, that's the magic of Emmet plugin that you can install into your own code editor. And if you want to learn how to write your HTML and CSS faster, I strongly recommend that you check out my video course or video tutorial on this topic. You can find that videos by visiting my channel page, and I'm also putting the link for those tutorials inside the description section so that you can easily watch them. Alright, now let's create the footer. For the footer, I want to have an anchor tag. So let's create an anchor tag, give it some text. Maybe I would call follow me and let's give it a class of model __ link, something like that. Alright, so hit tab to expand, and for the href attribute I'm gonna put my Facebook ID, so maybe https facebook.com. Alright, so now we have created the basic structure for our model window. That's all we needed right now. Now let's go into the CSS panel and start styling this model window. That's really simple. Let's jump into the CSS panel. First of all, let's go ahead and write the body tag and give it a font family of Helvetica sans serif. So now you can see the font is really changed. Now let's go ahead and give it a base font size of only 15 pixels. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a width of 94%, margin 0 auto, or maybe auto. Let's go with 0 auto. Alright, instead of setting the base font size to the body element, I'm gonna go ahead and set it inside this HTML element. Alright, now I also want to have a close icon or button for my model window, and I can easily go ahead and put it inside this header element. So let's go ahead and do that for a minute. Let's create a link. So let's go ahead and create a link A, give it a class of model __ close, and hit tab to expand it, and put the pound inside the href attribute, and inside this anchor tag I'm gonna go ahead and write ampersand times and semicolon. Now it's gonna generate a close icon here. So that's all for now. Let's resize our window a bit. Alright, so let's start styling our model window now. So first of all, let's reset this universal selector after before, and set their box sizing to border box, and let's target the model window and set its background to RGBA 000 and maybe 0.8, like this. I want to set its position property to fixed, so I can simply write position fixed. That's all. Now let's set its left property to 0, top property to 0, and maybe bottom to 0, like this. Alright, so now let's go ahead and set the display property of my model window to table, so that I can align my model content or model dialog vertically inside my viewport. So let's go ahead and see how to do that. Let's go ahead and target the model dialog by writing model __ dialog and set its display property to table cell, and I want to set the vertical align property of this model dialog to middle, so that I can align my model dialog vertically. So I want to do that by writing vertical align middle. Now you're gonna see that it will not work The reason for that is we have to remove this bottom from here and set its height property to 100%, and now it's working. Let's set its width property to 100% too. Now we wanna align our model dialog horizontally, so we can simply go ahead and set the margin property of my model content to auto, so it will center my model content horizontally. So let's go ahead and hit enter or return and target the model underscore underscore content, and inside these curly braces I want to give it a width of maybe 60%, and I want to set its minimum width or min width to maybe 300 pixels, and I also want to set its a margin of auto so that we can horizontally center our model dialog. So that's all. Now let's go ahead and set it a background color for my model content. So let's go ahead and give it a background, maybe RGBA. I'm going to use the RGBA value and give it a value of 255, 255, 255, and set its alpha value to 1, or you could simply use this RGB color space like this. That's great. That's it for now. Now let's start styling the content inside this model window. So I want to target my model header, so model underscore underscore header, and set its background color to font 2980b9. Alright, I want to set it a color, so RGBA 255 255 255 font 0.8. Nice. Now I want to set it a padding of 1 rem, maybe fine, and let's go ahead and target the model underscore underscore title and remove the extra margin from this model heading. So I want to set its margin to 0, which is added by default by the user agent. Now let's go ahead and start styling this close button. So write model underscore underscore close and set it a color of font FFF, and let's remove its underline by setting its text decoration to none, and I want to position it to the right hand side of my model window, so I will set its position property to absolute, and I want to position it relative to my header, so I want to set the model header position property to relative. Okay, so let's see the effect if I do not set the position relative for my model header. Let's remove it for a second and set its top value to 0 and left value to right value to 0 for now, and you're gonna see that it's appearing on the top right corner, but I want this close button to be positioned right about here, so I would have to set this position property relative for the model header so that I can position it relative to my header instead of this body element. So let's go ahead and set the top value to maybe 1 rem and right value to 1 rem, and that's looking fine for me. And yeah, that's all for this model close. Now let's go ahead and start writing styles for the image. I want to center my image inside this model window, so I can write model underscore underscore image, and I want to center it, so I can write display property to block, and I want to set its margin to auto. That's the simple way to center my image inside this model container. So I want to set the top margin to maybe 1 rem. Yeah, that's looking nice. Alright, so now let's go ahead and write styles for this textual content right here. So I want to write model underscore underscore text and set its padding of maybe 0 from all these top and bottom, and 1 rem from left and right, like this. And I want to set its line height to maybe 1.5. yeah, looking cool. Alright, now let's write some style for my footer. So let's target the model underscore underscore footer. Let me scroll it a bit so that you can see. Now let's set its padding of 1 rem from all the sides, and I want to set it a border top. So I will write border top and 1 pixel solid pound CCC. So that's the top border for my model footer. I could also use the background for my footer if I want, so but I don't want to use the background for my model footer. Alright, so now we have styled our model window and it is looking the way I wanted it to look. So now it's time to go ahead and hide this model window and trigger it when I click on a button. Okay, so let me go ahead and hide it by using CSS display property none. So let's go to the model class itself and setting its value to display table. I want to set it to display none, like this. So now you can see your model window goes away. Now I want to go ahead and create a button inside my HTML. So I will just go ahead and direct before this model. Let's create an anchor tag and give it a class of model hyphen trigger and hit tab to expand it. I want to set its value for now pound. I will show you what to set it later. For now, let's go ahead and give an ID for your model wrapper so that we can use our target pseudo element selector to trigger our model window. So I want to give it an ID of model, okay, and set the value of href for my anchor tag to model, like this. So whenever I just go ahead and click on this anchor button, it's gonna trigger this model wrapper with the ID of model. So at that time we're gonna just go ahead and set its display property to table. So let's see that how it works. Let's go ahead and give it some text, trigger model or open model, so like this. And let's go ahead and make it a little beautiful by writing model underscore hyphen trigger and set its text decoration property to none. And let's go ahead and give it a padding of maybe 1 rem, and let's go ahead and give it a background color to pound F9233434, kind of red color. And I want to set its display property to inline block and border radius to 3 pixels and margin top to 50 pixels for now, and give it a color of white. Now whenever I click on this button, my model window should appear, and for that I'm not gonna write any kind of JavaScript or jQuery. As I told you, we're gonna use the target pseudo element selector for this purpose. So let's see that in action. First of all, let's go ahead and target the model class itself. So model, now use the colon target pseudo element selector, like this. So now let's go ahead and set its display property to table. Alright, Now click on this model. Now can you see that your model window starts appearing? That's nice. But I don't want to stop here. I want to add some animation to my model window. So I'm going to use the add keyframes rule to set my animation for this model window. So let's go ahead and quickly create a simple animation. And for this animation to work, I need to set a position relative to my model content, because we are going to apply our animation to this model content window. For now, let's go ahead and create the animation. Let's write add keyframes and give the name. I want to give it a slide up name because that's what the animation we are going to create. And I want to set its from keyword to, let's set its opacity initially to 0 and its bottom property to negative 200 pixels, maybe fine. And let's set its to keyword, and now set its opacity to 1 and set its bottom property to 0 so that it will set to its initial position. Now we wanna use this animation inside this model content. So as you can see that I am not using any vendor prefixes. You can simply use it if you are using it for older browser and using it for the production. So I wanna set its position property to relative so that my animation can work here. And let's go ahead and trigger our animation. So write animation and give it the name for our animation, which is slide up. Let's set the duration maybe 0.3 seconds, and I want to set the timing function to ease in out semicolon. Now let's hit trigger. Can you see that? So that's cool. So now that we have created our model window inside CSS without using the JavaScript, and we are using the target pseudo element selector here, as here you can see that. So that's really nice, and we have also added some animation to our model window, and that's cool. So guys, if you like this video tutorial, please don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to my YouTube channel for cool tips and tricks like this. Thank you for watching. Bye bye. Take care.